Hope you're all having a good day so far. I know for some of us, the day just started.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Good
Have a good
morning.
day to you too.
Thank you. All right. Okay. I think I said we'll start in a minute. It's 8:31 here. So I'm going to start the presentation today. So again, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today as info session. My name is Sunela Thomas, and I'm the program director for the Masters in Business Analytics and Artificial Intelligence Flex program at UTD. Even though these sessions are scheduled mainly to address your questions, I would like to give you an overview of the program first, which most likely will answer many of your questions. I also have Sylvia Leventhal, the program manager, on the call. So please ask your questions in the chat as they come to your mind. And if there are questions that can be answered with a link, she will post them immediately. Okay. Now, you may be wondering what is so great about UT Dallas. I will say lots of things. Our campus is expanding to meet the student needs. Our student population, we have roughly 30,000 students, and Jindal School, where that is the School of Business, that has over 10,000 students. And out of that, almost half are graduate students. Okay. If you look at the GDP, Texas is considered as the eighth largest economy in the world, and DFW, which is the area that we are in, Dallas-Fort Worth, is the 23rd largest. Now, what does this all mean for you as students? Um, Lots of different industry sectors call DFW their home, which means there are lots of opportunity to meet professionals who have the industry experience, opportunities for you for internship and job. And some of these professionals, you may find them as your professors. Some are guest speakers for classes or for student organizations. And some of them may be your employers at one point. Okay. So a diverse group of companies like ExxonMobil, Texas Instruments, AT&T, American Airlines, Kimberly-Clark, Toyota, McKesson, CBRE, the list goes on, call this region as their home, reflecting these areas' strong fundamentals when it comes to workforce, access, and cost of doing business. I'm responsible for the MSBA and AI Flex program. And as the name indicates, it's flexible, meaning that you can take the courses at your own pace, whether online or on campus. And on online options, you may find something that we call as asynchronous versus synchronous. Asynchronous meaning you can do it at your own time. Synchronous meaning the instructor, the faculty will be on a video like what I'm doing right now, and you are joining that class from wherever you are at that specific time. And if you're an international student, there's a requirement for you to have each long semester take 9 credits, which is 3 courses. Okay. Now there are 36 credits that you need to complete for the program. 18 of those credits or 6 courses are core that you have to take. Everybody has to take. You don't have to take it all in one semester or all back to back. At least 2 of the core courses you should take in the first semester because those may be prerequisites for other classes. And 6 courses or 18 credits are your electives. And you are able to take elective from any of the 11 tracks, and you can mix and match. So you don't have to pick on a track because that track is not in your transcript or diploma. It's only that you have taken those courses. So you have a choice if you There are some students who come. Yesterday, I had a student in my office who definitely knew exactly what track they wanted to take, and that's fine if you want. But I will always encourage you to explore. That is the beauty of the Flex program. The 11 tracks, from accounting to social media, so you have a lot of choices in there. Um, it is a STEM designated program, meaning that if you are coming on a F1 visa, then you get the extra 2 years to do your OPT. So in terms of deadlines, without late fees, anything that fall semester, so 2025 falls actually starts August 25th. And the deadline for that application is May 1st. Okay. Spring starts in January. Deadline is October 1st. Summer starts in May, June, and the deadline is March 1st. In fact, summer 25 starts June 2nd. Now, if you wanted to do summer, yeah, obviously now it's April, so you passed the deadline. You can still apply. You just have to pay the late fee. So, as I mentioned, we have diverse curriculum with that 11 tracks and over 80 plus elective courses. And we do add courses in fall. Actually, you'll see if you look in the fall course book, you will see 3 courses that are marked as special topics. 2 of them we ran in spring, or we are running in spring. And the third course is a brand new one. So based on the industry needs and what we hear the buzzing word everywhere is, we try to have a class similar to that what industry is looking for, so that our students can be well versed in. Expert instruction, not only do you have educators, meaning you have PhD holders, you have researchers in here, you also have industry veterans. I came from industry, I have 30 years of industry experience, but I used to teach here as an adjunct or part-time faculty from 2016. And we have industry connections, right? People like me come from industry, have that industry connection. There are full-time faculty here who have industry connection either through their social network or through their researches that they're doing. So what do you mean by rolling admissions? It's even though the summer deadline has passed, we will still accept your application provided you pay the late fee. Okay. So if without late fee, it's a $50 non-refundable application fee. You international students pay an extra $50 for credential evaluation. You have to do a personal objective statement. It says 1 page double space. I can definitely say that I have seen 2 pages for students, and that's fine. But if you have only 1 page, don't worry about it that either. You have to submit your resume. You have to submit your unofficial transcript, meaning your undergraduate unofficial transcript, the copy that you have. For application evaluation, that's all what we need. When you get admitted and you start here the first semester, we do need your official transcript. Without that, you won't be allowed to register for classes in second semester. If you have less than 2 years of experience, work experience, then you need 3 letters of recommendation. Yeah. And the course does not require a GMAT or GRE to consider your application. If you have a really high score, like 310 or more, then I encourage you to submit that. Okay, that should be your official scoring from those organizations. Now let me go through a lot of students' question. It's all about scholarships and TAships.
Sunela, you muted somehow.
Okay, were you not able to hear me earlier?
No, we were. Just when you started saying you're going to go over lots of questions.
Okay. So scholarships, let me repeat the scholarship part. It's a separate application. The Dean's Excellence and Program Excellence is what we have. Dean's Excellence requires you to submit either a GRE or a GMAT score. Program Excellence, we don't. When you submit, it's being a separate application. When you submit it, it may show that you didn't take your GRE or GMAT and you haven't submitted it. It just automatically will consider you for program excellence, so don't worry about that. Okay. Now for fall semester, May 1st is a deadline. Let me just tell you how important deadlines are. Okay. We do not consider an application for scholarship if you submitted it after May 1st, because we have enormous amount of students who submit on time. The second part to the scholarships are when you are awarded a scholarship, you get it via your email. It has specific date that you need to accept your scholarship and you need to enroll in classes. Follow that. Again, we have a lot of students who follow those guidelines. Therefore, if you don't meet your deadline, we just give it to the next person in line for your scholarship. Now you cannot come and tell us that you were late in registering for classes. Another thing to remember about scholarship is if you defer your admission, that means you got admitted, let's say you got admitted in fall, and you, for one reason or other, you want to defer it, we allow you one-time deferral. You just have to submit a form, and whichever semester you want to defer it to, you can. However, you cannot defer scholarship. You will have to reapply for the scholarship, and now we are in a new pile to see whether you're eligible for that. TA-ships, they are not available in first semester for brand new students. Okay, we need your UTD grades to give you or award you that TA-ship. It's a separate application and you submit that during your first semester here. I think I already talked about that. So one other thing about scholarship, if you got a scholarship in fall, that scholarship is valid in fall and the following spring. That means fall 25, spring 26. If you got a scholarship in spring, it is only for that semester. There are many opportunities for you to apply for continuing student scholarship. That's a totally different application in there. If you apply for a continuing student scholarship, okay, I'm just telling you, you're not students yet. I think prospective students still have one semester to go through, right? Be mindful of that you need to demonstrate your leadership. And at that point, once you join for semester, we'll talk about it, but you got to remember that because there are a lot of students who are, it's a highly competitive world, okay? What does a scholarship mean? It's basically your scholarship amount is $1,000. You will only get a dean's or a program excellence. You don't get both. That will entitle you to have an in-state tuition, which is a 50% reduction in there. The MSBA and AI core courses, I told you we have 6 courses that you have to take. The ones in blue, those are, you only need to take one of them, okay? The business analytics with R, if you take it and you also take modeling, because modeling is also an elective, we will just consider business analytics with R as your core and modeling as your electives course that you're taking. You're also required to take, if you have never worked in United States, you are required, it's a mandatory course for 1 credit professional development course, and you do that during your first semester here. It's an 8-week course, and I cannot tell you how beneficial that course is and the resources that Career Management Center provides, provided you make use of it. If you just do what is required in the class and move on and don't use their resources, I'm going to tell you, you will lose a lot of headway into securing your internship or your job. Typically for first semester, if you have a technical background, I would say take the database, advanced data, and business analytics with R. If you do not have a technical background, one of the things I would say is take the 6320, the database, and the advanced stat. Hold on to the business analytics with R for a second semester. And then in lieu of that, take an elective subject that is not high in programming. Having said all that, we as a program, we provide you with free boot camps before the start of the semester. And you know when those boot camps are, they are virtual. You will know when they are if you follow our social media, and I'll give you a QR code in the end that you'll know what our social media in Instagram and LinkedIn, we post them, then you can join it. And not only can you join it live, if you register or if you join in the class course in fall, as an example, you have access to that recording. And these are students who are current students who have, third semester, fourth final semester, or this could be some alumni who have gone through our program. They know what is required of you in those classes. So one other requirement in the program is that you have to have an internship, and that internship could be 0 to 3 credits. So typically a student, if you're an international student, you have to complete 2 long semesters. One, let's say you're coming in fall, you will complete fall, you complete spring, and then you can do your internship during summer. If it's your first time you're getting an internship, we recommend that you take it for 0 credits. What does that mean? 0 credits simply means that you don't need to pay a tuition, but you satisfy the internship requirement. Now, don't fret or panic if you don't get an internship. There are many students. We have over 800 students in the program as a whole, and sometimes it's not easy to get 800 of them to get an internship, right? And there are at times there are full-time employees who are also taking this program. And for them to go and get an internship is not feasible because their current job does not have to do anything with analytics. And for them to do an internship, it's not possible, right? So we offer a course called Analytics Practicum that students will who never got an internship and they are graduating semester, they take that class to satisfy it. If you want to know a lot about students who have gone through internship, if you go to our LinkedIn and search for hashtag UTDMSBA, you can find that stories in there. A lot of employers, right? I told you companies that have their headquarters here. That doesn't mean those are the only companies that hire. There are lots of companies that hire our students as interns. Some companies will hire multiple students as interns during that same semester. Okay, so if you go to our career outcomes page, you can find all the details about it. You can also search publicly for the data regarding, obviously, being a Texas school, the more number of our alumni, they are in Texas, okay? But you have the jobs, employers, high-end employers, this obviously the top 5 that's showing here, this is from a public website that it shows as the global companies in there. Titles can be anything from data engineer, data analyst, business technical analyst, and you can also find something in marketing. If you like marketing, I came from that. That was my last job. You can be a marketing analyst or pricing analyst for that matter also. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, if you go to our UTD student outcomes page, it'll tell you what's an average first year compensation that you can expect. And before graduation, at least 77% of our students get. Within the 3 months, 83. And I would say within 6 months, majority of our students are employed. If you find a situation where you did not get an employment, If you have gone through interviews, then you know what you're doing is right. You just need the right time. If you never got an interview, and that you need to start working on that within that 3 months itself, because then that means there is something either wrong with your resume, that it's not going through the applicant tracking system. So that is where you would use that career management center within our School of Business, that School of Management, that they have all kinds of resources that can help you cross that bridge. We also have several student organizations. These are just a handful within the School of Management. There are that itself is like, I would say, 60 to 70 student organizations, but there are 300 or so within UTD. And if there is an organization that is not there, then you are more than welcome to start it. We also have, as part of the program, certificates. For if you are enrolled in the program, you don't have to pay additional for that certificate. However, there are some rules and criteria of when you should apply for it, because you need to apply for those certificates before you take the last class in that certificate. There is no exceptions for it. We provide you with numerous reminders via emails and in our social media that we hold you accountable for it, right? That if you don't apply, you just take the 4 courses, that you do not get the certificate in there. A lot of times students ask me this question, and that's why I brought it up. Like, I decided I'm going to put in a slide to talk about it, because everybody asks us, what is a tuition? Okay. There is a tuition calculator and estimate in our Bursar's website. If you go in there, it'll tell you how to calculate it. It's based on the number of credits that you're taking. If I am taking a non-resident loan, no tuition, no scholarship, in the spring 2025 term, with a variable rate, there is also guaranteed and variable rate, so you need to pick that. In the Naveen School of Management, with the 9 credit hours, meaning 3 credits, it's roughly $15,000. Okay, so go do that homework if you want specific information about that. Now, I strongly would recommend you all to follow us on social media. We are prominent in Instagram as well as LinkedIn. We also have started posting in Facebook. I know that some people see us in there, but most of the graduate students have said that they don't use Facebook. So that's why we are more prominent in Instagram and LinkedIn. And finally, if you want to connect as a prospective student with a current student in here, go ahead and scan this QR code, and it'll ask you to fill a Google form. And just imagine, like, it's not like somebody's going to get back to you within an hour. These are all students. They have classes, they have homework to do, and now it's to the tail end of their semester. So give them some grace to get back to you. Somebody will eventually get back to you. When I say eventually, within a week, you can expect them to get back to you. If you have specific questions, you can also email the program. That program email is msbuan@utdallas.edu. And finally, you can also email Sylvia or myself if you have specific questions. But if you do the program email, one of us will see it and will respond. My the recommendation to all of you is that don't email multiple people with the same question. Just give chance for people to respond to you. It is actually normal in the busy period that when we get a lot of applicants, for us to take up to 48 hours to respond to you. But if it is an emergency, then maybe email me directly instead of copying everybody on it. Okay, so that ends my presentation, and I will look in chat and see what questions have not been answered, and then look at it. And meanwhile, Sivi, if you need to um, answer something, um, then go ahead and do that. Let me know. Okay, the last question I see is Esther's. Without GRE, they will get scholarship. Yes, you will be considered without GRE for the program excellence scholarship. Okay, Amir, that's what I told you, right? Go to the tuition estimate and you can calculate it. It is roughly, I would say, if it is 15,000, it showed for one semester with 9 credits, right? Then you multiply that by 4 is a rough estimate of it. The letter of recommendation could be, the color doesn't matter. Aditya, my answer would be yes, you need to reapply because it will be a new F1, not your current F1. Okay, so Sneha, assuming you are admitted, if you're an admitted student, you should look in your Orion portal, and that will give you the links where you can look for courses. Courses, if you are a prospective student, okay, she answered admitted. Yeah, go to your Orion portal, and that will tell you if you are a summer student. Yeah, it's open registration, so anybody can register at this point. If it is a fall student, you look at when your enrollment appointment is, and based on most likely. Okay, so I would say it will tell you, like, let's say you're admitted in fall, and Sneha, when you go look at your enrollment appointment in Orion, it'll tell you like April 11th, 12 p.m., right? Doesn't mean 12 p.m. you need to be on the computer registering for courses. It's after 12 p.m. Anytime you can register. Okay. You want to wait till next week, Tuesday, you can. In a full, so as a graduate student, first semester, if you have never studied in the United States, my recommendation is 3 courses, 9 credits, with plus your 1 PD credit, the professional development. So that'll be 10. From second semester onwards, you can take 12 credits. You're the one who have to decide, do you want 12 or do you want 15? Okay. The reason I would say as a full-time student, don't take more than 12 from second semester onwards is graduate education is not learning and acquiring a skill and answering a question and getting your GPA. It's about applying that knowledge. The way you want to apply that knowledge is you need to participate in other events that are here, and you need to go for other where external speakers are there that interest you. If you're not involved, then getting an internship, getting a job, getting a peer recommendation is going to be difficult for you. So I would say you definitely, if you feel you are a very good student and you can manage the workload, then take 12 credits. Let me go back. Okay, I'm thinking Sneha's question 859. So as an international student, yes, orientation in fall, you should attend in person. If you're a domestic student, you attend online. I would recommend August 25th is when we start classes. August 21st should be our orientation, the JSOM as well as the department orientation or your program orientation. I want to say August 20th will be your ISSO or International Student Organization, International Students Orientation. I would recommend that you come at least that week, beginning of that week. Yeah, Joanna, the LORs are submitted through the application. Core and elective subjects, Aditya, are offered during summer. So it depends on what course you're looking for. Not everything is offered, but if you're an incoming summer student, you will find definitely the core courses offered in there. Okay, so you said you are a part-time student this fall. That means you are in United States, correctly, currently, and you're not an international student, right? Is that correct? Sivi, do you want to answer that question of
So if you are a domestic student, you are not eligible for an internship to count towards the program until you have completed at least 12 credits of the program, which is 4 classes. If you are an F1 student, then you are required to take 9 credits per semester in fall and spring, and you are eligible after the completion of 2 long semesters. So I just don't know if you are a F1 student or a non-Texas resident. But if you are an American citizen or not on an F1 visa, you are eligible after 12 credits.
Thank you, Sivi. Manny, your question on the AI. So the program always had some AI component in the classes. Some of the courses, not everything. Because of the importance in AI, we decided to change the program name from just MS in Business Analytics to MS Business Analytics and AI. We have also added class of within the certain courses. So for example, statistics course, we're not adding an AI component to it, right? It doesn't make sense. But if a database course, we've added an advanced database for AI analytics separately. Like, so in fall, that is a course that's there. For that, you need to have completed the database of foundations class, where we've also added courses that does not require any prerequisite, like AI in business. We've added a large language model class. So some of the ways that we actually use that AI title in the program is by adding new classes specific to AI or adding AI component to the current classes. So you will see that applied deep learning, applied machine learning, applied natural language processing with all will have an AI component added to it. And those are all current classes. I think most of the things I may have gone back to. Okay, 903, Amish's question. Pre-arrival requirements. So you should have from ISSO, you for studying. Okay. If, as I would say, if you don't have any programming experience, brush up a little bit or on your free YouTube, Datacram, free classes. Don't pay for anything. An R, a Python, right? If you are rusty in your statistics or math classes, like just do another YouTube, review that, Datacam, all of them, free versions will have. Same goes for SQL. I'm not asking anybody to go and study all that, because if you're studying all that, then why take the classes, right? That's what you would say. This is for people who haven't done, either not done it in their undergraduate, or it's been a long time since you did your undergraduate program and you want to brush up. I'll tell you about me. I have 3 master's degree. I have an MBA in finance and operation research. I did my MS in computer science. And later in life, I did a MS in data science. That was purely because I wanted to be current. Now, I had never programmed in Python or R before I took the data science course, but in my computer science program, I've done programming, so I know programming, right? Still, I went the summer before I started, because I started in a fall, summer before I started, I went like 4 hours I spent for R and Python just to know what they are and how can I kind of, and then once I did that, because I had the programming background, I was able to follow in class, right? Because the first semester I had both R and Python in the course. So I just had to be quickly up to speed. With the reference to SQL, I didn't have to review it at all because I had done that throughout my career. So it depends on where you are and having a little bit of background. And same with stats. I didn't have to do stats because that was my undergraduate. Okay. I'm thinking, I see a lot of response. So I'm thinking that, is there any question that we have not answered? Because if I have missed it in my scrolling, I apologize. And you just put the question again or unmute and just ask away. Don't think any question is stupid, because there may be somebody else who wanted to know the answer. I see there was a lot of question on scholarship. Well, if you don't have any questions, okay. Manny,
I
did you?
have one question.
Please.
Yeah, sorry.
No, please ask.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, thank you for the presentation today. And I'm actually having the registration class appointment today. So it's gonna be my first semester. Just wondering if you have any recommendation for classes to take for the first semester with like non-technical background people.
Okay. Yeah. So are you going to, Manny, are you going to do in, will you be doing in summer? You said summer, right?
Oh, in the fall, sorry.
In the fall. Okay. So in the fall, as I mentioned, so non-technical background, I would definitely do database and statistics like that, because those are needed as prerequisite for many other courses. And with that, then I would say a non-technical one would be a data visualization, because it will be in Tableau, and it's not like you need to code anything. So I would say do that. And before you start, if you're very rusty with stats and SQL, I would say just do a introductory course in data camp or look at some YouTube videos. There is I should remember this next time before I have. There are a lot of wonderful stats classes in YouTube. Next time, I don't remember it offhand, the name of it. If you ask question and Civi can answer, like maybe I'll find it, but or else Manny, just reach out to me. I'll research and tell you what. I think it was called Stat Tutor. And it was very simple, small bites of information, and you can just look at their playlist and just watch it a little bit, just to understand. I'm not telling you need to be proficient to come here, because that's what the instructors are going to teach you. But if you have not been in college for a considerable amount of time, I would say more than 3 years, getting back into that discipline of studying, coming into class, doing homework, it's a discipline, right? So in order to get to that discipline, I would say summer is a good time to do that 2 hours a day, 1 hour a day, whatever works for you, so that you get to that routine. I'm a very disciplined person, and I can tell you everything that I achieved is because of that. So that's probably why I keep reinforcing that discipline plan.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you so much. And I will try
you're
to work
welcome.
on some courses over the summer too. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to starting in fall. I'm graduating from
yeah.
UTD undergrad this semester.
Okay, so you have,
I'm
yeah.
glad
So,
they get some ITS and SQL in like undergrad too.
okay. So SQL is probably one of the easiest one that I would say, because that never changes, right? Your programming languages, R has syntax, Python has syntax and different data types, but SQL is SQL. It doesn't change. It's just a little more advanced concepts are taught because the class teaches a lot of no SQL database. That is what is required in the business analytics and AI program. And that traditional SQL is very different than no SQL.
I see. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Any other questions? Well, this is probably the first webinar that we end early. Usually there's a lot of questions and detailed answers. So if so there is no WhatsApp group for incoming students. However, if you attended our registration webinar that was on Monday, I shared a different QR code to connect with. So new students connecting with current students. And in that, you get automatic into a group, our Teams channel, where you can talk to other students. This one being a prospective student webinar, the QR code that I shared was students who have not applied or have not been admitted to UTD yet. Yes, Aditya, you will receive a copy, a link of this webinar recording. Okay, I guess there are no more questions. Thank you for joining, and I look forward to seeing you all. Bye, everyone.